secrets. As your memories collide and your dreams become sequels, let's break the cycle and reveal the truth so their kids won't be like them. There's a generational gap created by us, and there's no doubt about that. Now let's speak into existence, the consistence, and closing the distance. Everybody has their own way of going through it. Think about it, make cautious moves. Despite how you feel about us, we love you though, and we care about you. Everybody has their
talk heavy. Alright, y'all, alright. Rise and grind, dig this. January 6th. Front and Gerard. January 6th. Front and Gerard showcase with the youngins. Front and Gerard, January 6th. Mr. Talk Heavy will be there. Mr. Talk Heavy is performing. Mr. Talk Heavy is showing y'all that I am who I say I am. You dig? It's gonna be a blast. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a blast. My youngin' Isaiah is doing all the production. Scheme is putting it together. So I'm riding with my youngins. You know what I mean? And we're gonna put on a good show for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, the show for y'all, but the show for some high ups. You know what I'm saying? Some people who's gonna help us put this thing in the right perspective. You know what I mean? We all chasing dreams. You know what I'm saying? It's the attempt that makes it most. You dig? You know, a lot of us are afraid to try. You know, I had that conversation with my brother. You know, because my older brother, he messed up right now, so he's not a sub. So, you know, conversation came about all the businesses that I put together, that I started. And what he said that why he was saying, well, why wasn't I successful? I said that's the one thing that everybody says. Success comes when you institute a business, and what you put into it, you get that back out with extra. That's how your business is a success. Successful business is not based on other people's perspective on what success is. You know what I'm saying? Success, it is what it is to you. Success is what it is to you. Not to them, to you. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get mad about it. I just understood where he was at. And I understood what everybody else is at that has that type of same mentality, that same mindset. The attempt is more important than any result that can happen. The attempt, that's where it starts at. What do you fear in attempting to progress in life? You know what I fear? You know what I fear the most? What I fear the most is regret. Because I have a lot of regrets. Oh, I have a lot of regrets. This is why I'm on the mission that I'm on now, because I regret making the choices that I make, and I regret making the decisions that I make. I regret having to do the time that I had to do. But as you get older, you start to realize that that's what that was supposed to be. That was a learning lesson. That was a lesson for you to learn, organize, put it in a better perspective so it could be a blessing to other people. I had to go through what I had to go through in order to come out the way I came out. The pain, the agony, the grief, the remorse, everything. In life, man, when you live in it, we don't take time to analyze it. We just go on living life without analyzing what have we done in life. What mark did we make? The only mark that I made up to this point is street credibility, jail credibility. I want credibility in life. I want credibility in my legacy. You know, we all have dreams of becoming successful, and a lot of us in the inner city hood, our dreams faltered to becoming a successful street nigga. And there's no successful street nigga. None at all. I understood that during them 18 years. What success story has been told from any street cat? Please tell me. Let me know. What success story? Because every success story that you see that's streaming on YouTube and other streaming platforms, they're not really success stories. They're stories that end up in tragedy. Either life, penitentiary time, or death. What success stories do a street nigga got? I'm going to tell you, none. None. Let me give you a brief story of something that happened to me. I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm talking about me. What happened to me. My hustle was in the suburbs. My hustle was in Ardmore, Bryn Mawr, Pottstown, Phoenixville, Spring City. That's where my hustle game was at. It's out there. Everybody know. So, out there is different. You dig? Things change. It's different. It's not like the hardcore in the city. It's not like, you know, that. It's different. You know what I mean? So the way how you do business is different out there. You know, and let me tell you something, man. I got arrested. I didn't get locked up with nothing on me. They found some stuff around, but not on me. So when I got locked up, because I was 16, I got right out. You know what I mean? I stayed the night while they, you know, did the paperwork and everything, but all I did was call my uncle and came right on out. Back then, all you had to do was call a relative. You under the age of 18, you call a relative, they come scoop you up, take you out of there. That was the reality back then. So I got right out. I'm going to tell you something. This was '89. Yeah, this was 1989. I got locked up and I got out the next day. the next morning. What happened was I got out and I went to my crib. I was living on, what was that address? I believe it was 210 Simpson Road, I believe it was. Yeah, that was my house, 210 Simpson Road, right up in Ardmore, right by Lincoln, right by County Line Road. So I came, when I came around County Line Road to come up Simpson Road, before I got there, before I got to the corner, I seen all these lights. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So by seeing the lights, I just got out of jail. I kind of took a dip back, and it was like some shrubs and stuff. So I was behind the shrubs, and I seen two sheriff's vans and a big flatbed. At that time, I had two cars. I had a Chevrolet Cavalier convertible, and I had an Aerostar Astro van. Both of them was in '87. This was '89, so it was 2 years old now. But I came down, I seen the flatbed. I said, "Oh, what the hell's going on?" But I seen the sheriff, so I just got out of jail. So I was like, I don't want them to see me and all that, because I want them to know that I'm home. What happened was, I see the flatbed move up, and then they changed. Back then they had to change. They had to pull the car out. So both my cars was parked one behind each other right there on Simpson Road, right? And they came with the flatbed and took both of my cars on the flatbed. They was in my house. They was in my crib, taking everything out. Everything. And they sealed it up. I only spent one night in jail. I didn't get caught with nothing. But because I got arrested, and this was the time when the law changed, when they started taking property, if you get caught with crack. Now, up there, I got caught, not get caught, but they found crack vials with crack in them. And so they locked me up, knowing they know who I am, so they locked me up. And when they locked me up, they just came and took all my shit. They took they took both my vehicles. They came in and took the whole crib. I'm talking about everything. I had shoes, sneakers. I had clothes. What I was wearing back then, wasn't nobody even put on. I had tailor-made sweatsuits, man. Everybody know me. Everybody know how I rock. Yo, you have never, ever saw someone just come and just take everything that you worked hard on for, shot, all that. Like, that was before I did my time. But they came and took everything. And they took it off the new bill that just passed about them taking people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yo. I never saw that. You know what I mean? I never saw that. I really did. Because I'm going to show you how this thing aligns. When they took everything, so now I'm left with absolutely nothing. Whatever I had, it was in the crib. That made me become consciously aware of where I lay my head at, as opposed to where I do my dirt at. That's what brought conscious awareness of that. I started to understand, like, yo, I can't have two at the same thing. That was a learning lesson. That was a learning lesson, man. I understood that from that moment on, nothing is guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is guaranteed. I don't care what it is. Nothing is guaranteed. Because at some point in time, they could come and take it away from you when you're doing dirt. These are the thoughts that ran through my mind up in the penitentiary, man, on how I was going to come out and change this perspective, change who I am, change people's perspective of me, change my identity. Because I can no longer be Cool T no more. I can no longer be the drug dealer. I can no longer be the player of the board that, you know what I'm saying, went always going out OT and coming back bricked up. You know what I mean? I can't be that no more. Because there are no successful stories in the game. None. Let me tell you something, man. I've actually realized at that moment, seeing my cars on the flatbed, seeing my house being sealed up, seeing all of my possessions being carried out and taken into the truth, I understood, man, the value of representing who you are to the fullest, and the value of being on the books. See, if I had my shit right, they couldn't come and take that. But because I had nothing to show for, as opposed to how I got it, no job, no company, no nothing. I had nothing to show for it. So they just came and took everything. I understood from that moment on that everything that I do, there has to be a record of it. But being as though that I had nothing for them to reference on, no financials, all my money was in shoe boxes. You dig? I had no bank account, a bank. I just really started understanding what banks are. Honestly. What financial institutions are. See, these are the things that you should know before you get in the game, before you step out there. Not after. Understand it before, so you will know, man. Life is very vital, man. And time goes so fast. I'm telling you, I can't see how is it that I came out in 2009 and it's already 2023, going on 2024. I can't see it. Where did it go? Where did it come from? You know what I'm saying? I can't see it, man, because time is so quick. It goes so fast, man, that you're not going to be able to really understand what's happening until it happens. So preparation is the key, man. Preparation is the key. If I had the understanding of what I had now, what I have now, back then, I definitely wouldn't be in the position that I am today. But that was a learning lesson for me. That was something that I had to understand and progress in, because I know that there is no future in this life. No future in that game. It's to be used as a stepping stone for a moment. And then you move on. Because this out here, Their body count is unimaginable. You cannot win. This is why I went to school. And I got my associate's degree in business management out of Ashworth College through a correspondence course study. I started to understand what it is that I needed to know. How it's designed. What's the thought processes? You know? What's the blueprint? So I studied, and I came home with a plan. Murder wasn't a plan. When my cousin Naisha got murdered, I'm here in 12th and 100 in the corner. I'm right here on the corner. Let me show y'all. See that? You see that? That brown crib on the corner? You see that stoop with next to the fire hydrant? See that? That's where my cousin Naisha was murdered. That's where my cousin Naisha was murdered. Let me show y'all something. Where I'm at, I'm parked on the left side on 100th Street. The direction that I'm going, a van came, and from possibly where I'm at to around the corner, they had the AK-47, and six people were shot. 2 was killed. My cousin Aisha and my young boy, General Reezy, the rapper boy. He was just about to blow. He was on fire because of some shit. Now, when that happened to my cousin, that's the first time in I don't know how long that any kind of tragedy like that happened to our family. You dig? The time before that, I believe it was my Uncle Weezy. He got killed because he did a burglary. He was coming out. I don't know how that happened, but, you know, they said he was coming out or coming in from robbing a house or something, and our owner killed him. That's the only time that we had that type of violence in our family like that. And then this happened to our cousin Aisha. It just took us by storm. We didn't know, you know, it's just something that shouldn't have never happened, but it did. You know what I'm saying? From that in 2019 to 2 years later, well, after that happened, we had about roughly 10 murders on this corner since then. In 2021, that's when my son walking from right there, my brother's right by that lot where the first house, that right there, that's when my brothers was doing cookout. He walked from here and he walked to the store, went to go get him something to drink. 3 cats and 1 in the car on Harold Street. They came around and they started shooting up the corner. And I guess my son saw what was going on. I don't know if he was shot already or I don't know if he was already shot, but he was standing by the door when they started shooting. So he went this way because they was coming from down there. They was coming from 13th Street way. And they came up. And so by him at the store door, because it was 3 other people that was there, so he was waiting by the door. And when they started shooting, I don't know if he got shot, but he ran up towards the first little block. It's called Harold. And when he ran up there, there was a guy that was up on 12th Street, so he ran down Harold. And when he ran down Harold, that's where the nest was. That's where they was, where the car was. They was waiting for them three to come back. And that's where he died at, on Harold Street. I don't know the true reason. I don't know. Anger sets in. And I'm going to tell you something, man. You can't make this up. Because this is real life. That happened on a Friday. Because a Saturday, everything went a little crazy. We had the balloon release on Sunday. Sunday, during the balloon release, everybody's on the block. We, hugging each other. And my little brother, Bob, gets a phone call while we celebrating the life of my son. He got a phone call that his son was just murdered down, I believe it's North or South Carolina, on a basketball court. He playing ball, and they just decided to have a shootout at the basketball court. He got shot in the head once, died instantly. That changed the whole dynamic. If I had the intentions of doing anything, that changed the whole dynamic, because it's not just about me. It's not just about how I feel. It's not just about my ego. It's about the countless number of human lives being taken senselessly by a plethora of different reasons, but the main reason is because of the condition in which we live in. That has to change. Because if that changed, then the perspective would change. People's understanding of life would change. People would start to really love and adore life instead of hating it so much. If you've been in agony your whole entire life, then pain is a part of your life. So you only know how to inflict pain. This is why our relationships don't last, because we don't know how to love, man. We don't know how to love. All we know is pain. That has to change. That's why I started #talkheavy, because I understand that the same thing that I went through, so many of us is going through. There got to be a cause. There has to be a start, a beginning. And I believe the beginning was what we done when we was out here doing our time. Doing our existence, doing the shit that we used to do. What they doing now, there's only a blueprint that we laid, that we left behind. Before that, it wasn't none of that. Think about it. You didn't have this in the early 80s. It was fights, games, whatever, but you didn't have this in the early 80s, because the introduction of crack into our neighborhoods killed us. It really did. So we got to understand that that's vital. That's information that's vital. But see, the next generation don't have the information that we have, because they wasn't here when we was doing it. So some understanding has to come into play, and some responsibility. I take full responsibility in my actions. I took full responsibility when it came down to my kids, my grandkids, because I know that if I wasn't absent from their lives, it'd have been a whole lot different. I chose this, so it's incumbent upon me to fix this. I don't care how late in life it is. I spent 18 years away from their lives. By the grace of God, that is never going to happen again. But while I'm breathing, while I'm still conscious, I'm going to make sure that I leave a legacy that they could benefit off of. Hashtag Talk Heavy is not about me. It's about the legacy of a generation that has been traumatized and skipped over, beat on, targeted. And we were the ones that initiated it. That what gotta stop. This is why I started this. I had thoughts. My ego came into play. Because of who I am and my reputation and my history, you're fucking right. My ego came into play. But when that happened to my nephew, and then my cousin, a couple of days later, it just, I couldn't take it. Something has to be done. That was the period in where I transitioned. And in this transition, it's refreshing. You dig? It's refreshing. Man. But January 6th, Front Gerard, we doing it. I'm gonna put the fly out, and I'm gonna promote. I'm promoting it my way. You dig? Let's understand something, man. No matter how old you are or young you are, right now is the biggest opportunity that we have ever had. You are more likely to become successful in this day than you have ever had in the history of us over here in this country. Let's take advantage of that. Let's do the right things. Let's progress. But first and foremost, let's start loving ourselves. Let's start having empathy for who we are, for our history, for our fellow brothers and sisters. We have to change. And in life, when you change, new perspectives happen. You know what I'm saying? Let's change this diagram. Let's change this perspective. Let's change our reality. Because as I heard from a quote from Mr. Farrakhan, he said, vision is mentally being able to see in vivid clarity that which other people dare not to see or blind to see. Vision is a balance of reality and dreams. Dreams are imaginations never carried out. Dreams are ideas never materialized. Dreams are cheap but require no price because they will forever remain in the dreamer's mind. Reality is that which is now. Reality demands to live for the moment. The so-called realist can't see beyond his nose because he failed to realize that reality can be made, changed, and brought into existence. Reality can be made, changed, and brought into existence. This is what we need to do. Look at our reality. Let's make a change. And let's bring it into existence, a new reality. Talk heavy, man. Listen, I love y'all, man. Remember, man, Hashtag talk heavy, man. It's on the popping. All right. January 6th, Front and Gerard Showcase. I ain't got another one coming up in February, but this is one for the youngins. You know what I mean? I appreciate them, man. All the youngins, man. Y'all really been the inspiration to me, man. They give me energy. You dig? So, it's it, man. It's a great morning. You know, love life, man, and live it to the fullest. All right? It's Mr. Talk Heavy. Peace.